Market intelligence is most actionable for us when it covers the entire market. What's really interesting right now about television and media more broadly is the secular shift to TV streaming. We're in a world where more folks are streaming than ever before. We recently announced that we have more than 50 million active accounts at Roku. So when we think about market intelligence and what our partners and advertisers look for, it's the ability to see the entire picture. And as America's #1 TV streaming platform, our focus has been looking at ways with both our data and our partners that we can help bring that to life. We see a tectonic shift on the buy side, and it's really accelerated within the last 6 to 12 months. What we've seen is that linear TV declines have accelerated to the point where finding a younger light TV viewing audience is increasingly challenging. And on the same time, we've seen that streaming is surging. More than a third of Americans no longer have a pay TV subscription, and the amount of time spent with streaming is increasing. One thing that we did in response to this was launch OneView, which is our ad buying platform built for TV streaming. And the whole principle of this was bringing streaming to the fore of the media plan. So if you want to reach those cord cutters and those light TV viewers, you want to do that with better identity data, with more access to inventory, and better performance. All of that comes together in OneView with the ability to reach more than 4 in 5 homes in America, and to do it with deterministic direct relationships with the customer to drive that same scale that you've gotten on the traditional TV screen, but with the targeting and the attribution of the digital world. What's interesting about TV streaming and the expectations from the buyers on ad spend and performance is that what TV streaming brings ultimately is the branding power of the television screen mixed with performance and attribution of the digital world. And so what buyers look for when they're putting their ad dollars to play is the ability to not just have a top of the funnel branding experience, but to have a full funnel, lower attribution model. And what's really interesting there is that not only do 9 in 10 of the Ad Age 200 brands have advertised on the Roku platform, but direct-to-consumer and performance-driven brands are really taking a lead into TV streaming. We shared recently that Friendly TV, which is a virtual MVPD or streaming service on our platform, found that advertising on Roku had 65% better return on ad spend compared to a large social platform. So the interesting takeaway there is that you're actually seeing the branding, sight, sound, and motion of TV, but the performance of the digital world. And that's what's perhaps most interesting when it comes to thinking about ad spend.
So Dan, I wanted to ask about inventory management. There's so much inventory on Roku. Just in broad terms, how do you maximize ROI on your inventory?
One of the first ways to maximize ROI is to think about how do you take your entire TV streaming plan and really start with streamer first marketing. That's actually the core and the mission behind OneView, which is to take all of the ways that you can buy TV streaming and make it accessible in one platform so that you're incrementally advertising and expanding your incremental reach. You're avoiding ad collision and reducing frequency challenges, and ultimately getting the most return on ad spend. We recently shared that Lexus had an interesting play around this, which is that they wanted to take their existing TV streaming buy, not spend any more marketing dollars, but increase and maximize their reach by reducing inefficiency. What they saw in OneView was a 35% increase in unique reach without spending $1 more. So the takeaway and how you maximize that inventory is by pulling everything into one place so that you've got the tool set to look at holistic reach, holistic frequency, and holistic performance. There's absolutely value in understanding national ad spend and getting a full view of it. What's really interesting about TV streaming is that there's a lot of different buckets into which it falls. It can be both a national TV medium, a local TV medium, a digital video medium, an addressable cable medium. And as a result, it can be challenging to get a full view of the national market. But what's important there is being able to track those secular trends and to understand the ways in which dollars are actually shifting from traditional TV and into TV streaming. So we really value the partners that are able to give us that view, and also to help our advertisers understand how do they right size their budgets and make sure that they're following consumers in a world where all TV will one day be streamed. And as a result, all TV ads will also be streamed.